Hi, this is Colorful Foresight, where we intuitively connect from within. And it's woo woo time, where we connect our woo woo into our mundane living.
So, I'm about to tell you that one of the biggest lies you've been sold in general by society is that it is possible to have a relationship where there is no contrast. When I say contrast, I mean opposites. I mean polarity. So you've got wanted and unwanted, positive and negative, you've got pleasure, you've got pain. Contrast is something that is fundamental to this time-space reality. And that fantasy of that perfect relationship is getting you in a lot of trouble. I mean, we could call this like a Disney fantasy, right? That it's possible to find a relationship that only feels good. And it's not going to happen. No matter what in a relationship, you're going to have to end up consciously choosing your contrast. That means what you can say yes to and what you can't say yes to, right?
Hi, I'm Angela and I'm here with Sylvia.
Hi.
Hi, Sylvie. And today we're actually reviewing soulmates and going to that next level.
Interesting. I've been ready to be in a relationship. And in the process, I realized, but I want to wait until I have X, Y, and Z. I want to wait until I feel like this. And I hear people say, you have to start now. What are you waiting for? And there's truth to that, because I'm always waiting until I have X, Y, and Z. And the beauty that I've been seeing lately is if I just allow and have a leap of faith to see that I'm okay now, regardless of X, Y, and Z. I actually get to X, Y, and Z. The whole time I'm trying to wait until I get to X, Y, and Z. And it seemed obvious. In order to go there, you have to go toward it. But I guess I was like in a cloud and just focusing on what was not right about me. Or if I did enjoy myself, I was still waiting until I had this in order to be ready for a relationship. So it's definitely, I feel like the message I've been getting lately, it's being a soulmate that I am. So that's where I'm at right now. What about you?
I'm at the place where I'm working on the vision of when you talk about my soulmate, my relationship with myself, my relationship with my soul. I'm really intimately going to my soul and saying, hey, I need you more than ever. And I need you to show me where you need me to expand to go to the next level. Because even if I have a partner, if he doesn't know or she doesn't know where I'm going, how I want to live, what I'm going to be doing in the upcoming years, in the short term, in the long term, if she doesn't have a connection to that picture, if he doesn't have a sense of that picture, how am I going to introduce them to it? So I've been really falling in love with just really talking to myself and my soul because I really want to build that deep bond so I can say, hey, I need to know where your next level of growth is, because I'm never going to compromise that just to be in a partnership. And that's my first relationship, how I interact, talk, nurture that inner self and that spiritual part of me.
We've done quite a few videos in the past, especially around late 2015 and 2016. And we talked about having a relationship with a guy, but also ultimately end up being about self-love and having a relationship with ourselves. So what did you get from it? We'll start from that and then we'll continue with whatever.
So when I watch the videos from the past,
Me too.
I see the illusions that I was operating on and how I was almost there, but I was missing it because of the illusion I was looking at life through, or myself through, or the universe through, definitely spirit and how spirit works with me. So now what I have got from that peak experience that I can experience in connection is that the only thing that stops me is the illusion that I'm not experiencing it. And it's still evolving. So I'm seeing more and more illusions about how I stop myself from having those peak experiences, because literally my mind or a judgment or a belief wants to keep me separate And that peak experience is just right there in the moment. I can create it almost instantly, and my partner creates it with me.
It's funny, I still have the same issue about profession. And in order to meet a guy, I should be dating more. And I'm still not. Like, the illusion I have is about, I see a lot of my image with a 5D lover. And I'm like, oh my God, how did I progress in the past 2 years? Or how did I grow? I feel like I'm still in the same situation. So I really have to work through those and say, this is not real. This is not real. This illusion, what I have about any story, about how I have to look, how I have to be.
Wow.
Maybe I think from 2 years ago, I'm still waiting to be a certain way. And I guess I really see how much the mind game was playing with that. The fears is the mind game, the old programming playing that illusion of certain things. It's I don't know, it's pretty deep. It's pretty deep. I don't think it's a mistake that we're talking about this. If it's under the soulmate in 2020, 15, 2018, 23, this is all related. For me, I felt a lot of my challenges about love, especially I was following the twin flame thing. And the twin flame ultimately is about the divine masculine, divine feminine getting together. But we as society tend to make stories about it. What it must
Yeah,
be.
too many stories.
But I've had a lot of
I always found the twin flame was making people feel not enough. I just don't think it really.
You know what it is? I get a lot of signs all the time. I get double eggs all the time. I get sign. I have stories about it. So I do believe there's truth to it, but it may not be the label. Just like soulmate. Soulmate in the 80s was about you having this one soulmate. Now, a decade later, soulmate's like literally everybody. So how we interpretate. But I believe this whole thing, me going in circles, had to do with the stuckness that we are in with the golden age. Right now, if you notice, the last few years been extra divisiveness. So once that golden age come in, we're gonna have people fall in love with each other. We're gonna have people from family members that divided because one is Democrat and one Republican go back together in unity. It's all related. The whole true flame, the reason why the twin flame thing is so popular is because the twin flame is about true love, which is a higher energy. And we're heading into the enlightenment of it. It's our divine and divine feminine are merging, getting healed from the wound. So it's our interpretation of what it means that it's inaccurate. I mean, you could go on YouTube and there's songs about it and all that. So it's not that it's not true, but it's the labeling it's not true. It can also be seen as maybe yin yang, Shiva, whatever, like the ultimate, which I think is, so it's all related. Like, I feel like I'm going in circles with this other because of this energy that try and prevent us as humanity go to the next level.
Yes.
Our leaders said that just like there's the brilliance of the light, there are brilliance of the dark, and there are things out there that
working against us.
Right. Mm-hmm. So that's the same thing. If you don't have true twin flame getting together and you got all this confusion in between and you don't have people getting together or working through their wounds and all that, they want to keep that separate. That's why all the politics is happening at this time. Whatever, they're creating that division for a reason. They even created a division between spiritual people, which some of them went to, they didn't realize they didn't use their intuition correctly. We've done videos about that. They're listening to the wrong sources. And they make it like, XYZ. We're going very deep. And I have to say, I've been very uncomfortable this past 20 minutes, but I'm feeling better.
That's good.
But if I'm going to do a video, if I'm going to do a thing
woo-woo
about woo-woo, sometimes it's going to be something fantastical. So our intention is to go from illusion to completion to true love.
And so as an intuitive, I used to use confirmation from my guides.
Mm-hmm.
So people might know about that. You're like, give me a sign that this is real. My mind was saying, is this real? Really? Are you sure? And that circle started with the mind going on and on. It wouldn't stop. And I was just so over my mind. So I said, look, I talked to my guides and I said, look, guys, I call my guides guys. Hey, guys.
I
hey,
love it.
dude,
Love.
you know me, meaning you know my mind and how
I
it
don't want
keeps
to know
going
your
on.
mind. I already have mine. I don't need yours too.
Yeah. So I give my guides everything. They know everything about me. So I tell them everything about me that is annoying. And they don't find it annoying. I do. So I go, this is killing me. My mind is killing me. The doubt is killing me. You've got to give me more evidence. And I didn't tell them. This is one of the tips that you do with intuition work. You tell your guides, I need evidence in this way, or give me confirmation that I'm correct or accurate, or that this is really what I'm picking up. And you tell them what sign. I didn't do that. So they played a game with me because first it started in one and I got shocked, but my mind kept on going around in circles. And then it started the next one. So I couldn't doubt it. So it was incredible. Like my divine was then saying, you're not going to tell us how to give you the proof. And I did tell them to make sure that it would work with my mind because they know the way my mind is. And they gave it to me. And that way it really did work. But then the final piece was getting people over to share. Because sometimes I think spiritual people, we do a lot of things in isolation, and it's not about that anymore. You've got to really be with people and give and ask people to give you feedback, and also just sharing. My partner's always about that. I need to share more and share. He shares with me and he wants to share. I think we've become isolated and selfish, basically. So we need to do that more because that then gives you more confirmation and you're not thinking inside. It's outside of you because your mind will do a circle. If you watch almost, I believe 100% of the mind's processing, because it is a brain in the end with circuits that basically connect and join different neurons. So any thought goes around that circuit. And if you watch your thoughts, that mind game you're playing, it's a circuit. It's like a mouse in a cage on a wheel. And that itself, if you break that, what happens is enormous things can be experienced, just peace or freedom or joy. And they're not concepts. It's not like you're going to meet your soulmate and everything's going to be better. But if you stop the mind game, a presence comes in and you just feel good. And then if a soulmate is part of your life path, because remember also some people, they spend years looking for this soulmate, they have them, and then it ends up being, I don't mean to laugh, but it could be like a domestic violence situation and they give birth to a child. And the whole thing was just to give birth to that child. And then it's a terrible experience and they leave. But they have a child. So they've been pining and waiting for this soulmate.
Wasting time.
Yeah, but it's the pining that was part of your soul journey to make sure you met that person and make sure you had a child. But sometimes that pining.
Oh, I see. So what's a waste of time?
Yeah, and it's not going to give you what you're really looking for. So what are you really looking for? Maybe you could stop the mind game and get what you're looking for. And then if you really, really want to spend the rest of your life with someone, because that's what I challenge a lot of people over a certain age. Do you really want to live your life with someone? I know a lot of people of a certain age, they don't want to live with someone. They just don't. Either they've been alone for a period or they're very happy in their own routines. They're not prepared to sacrifice certain things. And really, if you want to live with someone, you have to be able to compromise and give up things, because it's not about you, it's about two people, or sometimes more. Or you might have an animal.
So what did you get from? Did you see from the video you did out on 2015, which was more like fantastical and fantasy based, and then 2018 you realized when you met your man that you're still with currently, how you had to overcome the illusion. So where are you at 2023 with the person you're with?
A lot of it's now, because after the honeymoon phase, we definitely had a great honeymoon phase. We had a lot of challenges and we went through those quite well. I was pleasantly surprised. I think he was too. A lot of humor, actually, in the face of really bad things. And I wrote down, why do I need it? What's the purpose of a peak experience? So more with the relationship, it's like, where are we headed? What's our goal in life? And me personally, that's different to my partner. And then what we have as a goal for the relationship is sort of like a fusion between what we want individually.
I could speak like when you talk about what new phase your life is about to begin, especially most of your people here are over. You know how like there's certain phase in life? Like I thought I never got married and I never had a kid. I never had kids. So now I have to reframe like, what am I going to do going forward? So it's like I'm disappointed. But at the same time, it's like, okay, here I am. So what am I supposed to do at this phase of my life going forward? Like being this age group, because I'm not like when before people in the 50s, they retire and they were grandmothers and blah, blah, blah. And a lot of my friends I have a lot of friends, but they're overseas, or, my cousin are with kids. So it's like a place where I'm at. So what's the new phase? The new phase is to find joy. That's the only thing I could do. My niece and nephew came over, and it's not like I see them often, but that's what it is. Like sometimes the delusion I have in mind, like it had to be like fantastical. What's beautiful is just seeing your son and your nephew, and you're having Chinese food with your mother, meaning their grandmother. It's simple as that. If I'm in my negativity,
Yeah.
I'm not
Live
even
in the moment.
appreciating that. I'm
Yes,
not even appreciating
exactly.
that.